The guy's 21 and 31.
You know what? That wasn't the argument. That wasn't the argument.
With $250 million.
More than that.
21
and that wasn't
turnovers
the argument.
last year.
I'll show you.
I'm just going to observe.
Today, Game 4. Is Luka Legend's legacy on the line? I have a great take here. If he gets swept, no more Luka Legend.
No.
Oh, you can still call him a legend.
That. As the guy that gave him that nickname, I refuse that.
Yeah. Can you be the GOAT and get swept in round one multiple times? Then I think you can be a legend and get swept in the finals. Give me a break, Wilds. Know your facts.
You just admitted he's going to get swept. Meanwhile, while some quarterbacks are losing pounds, Lamar, Tua, this guy's gaining some.
Good job.
Oh, that's good.
Trevor gets paid. It's an English currency joke. Christine hated it. And finally, why Patrick Mahomes is already talking about another ring. This dude loves celebrating.
Yeah.
I think Travis is more of the party animal, but when it comes to like the Chiefs celebration, he's number one.
That's right.
Friend of the show, alongside Chris Broussard and Kevin Wilds. I was surprised you didn't make a quick trip.
I didn't want to miss the show. I was invited. My ring's being couriered. It's a replica one, but it's.
You getting a ring?
I mean, come on, be serious.
Yes.
I'm totally serious. Yes or no? I have no idea.
What? Be serious.
If you are,
I really don't know if you're getting one.
Well,
right.
I'm asking you to be serious.
Okay. We should get you one.
I'm gonna take that as.
All right.
Take it for
however
you want.
The soon-to-be champ Celtics on the doorstep of banner number 18 with a bevy of statistics that make you think, wow. Oh, one of the best teams of all time, 80 wins, fourth best margin of victory all time, potential for back-to-back sweeps that would put them in historic company. Here's Tatum on the history books.
How much more would that add to it when you think of all that this franchise has done? You guys could be at the top of a whole lot of lists in that record book.
I didn't know that. That would be really cool. But, you know, you guys probably would say we didn't play anybody to get here, so we just have to do it again next year.
Hello. Already looking past. Brew, your reaction.
No, he's not looking past. You heard the question. I thought his answer was fine. It's not like he was saying, oh, this is over, we got it. They were saying it, and they were presenting him a question about if you win this championship, on top of that, how great would it be to be one of the all-time great Celtics teams? So I have no problem with his answer. In fact, I think he's right on the money. Now, for the comments about you'll say we didn't play anybody, beating Dallas, especially sweeping them, beating them, period, but sweeping them, it erases all of the talk about they didn't play anybody. And I was a champion of that talk, all right? But it erases that because they beat the team that beat the team that beat the defending champions.
Okay.
And they beat the team that beat the number one seed in the Western. Like, Dallas had a tough road.
Yes.
And they beat them, and if they're sweeping them, I mean, this is impressive. Now, the 15-2 or 16-2, should they sweep? Yeah, sure. Against better competition, it probably wouldn't have been that. But I'm not going to hold this against the Celtics at all. All right, so I think his answer was good. I will say this, though. It's the same thing I've been saying. I still won't consider them like an all-time great team until they were, as he said, to do it again.
And that's not unfair. And it's
how history is. We got two teams, maybe, that are one-offs that are all-time great teams. You got the 83 Sixers, which you talked about yesterday, and maybe the 72 Lakers.
Oh,
no,
sure,
I wouldn't say the Blazers.
Okay.
They won 33 straight. They had Wilt Chamberlain. They had Gail Goodrich. They had Jerry West. I know you never heard of Gail Goodrich.
I like Gail Goodrich.
And they had Elgin.
And they had gone to several finals the previous decade, which I understand the Celtics have been close a lot, but not to that level. So first of all, yeah, I mean, Tatum's basketball idol, Kobe, famously, not in this exact spot, but a similar spot, said job's not done. That's not the route Tatum went. That's fine. I think also, though, Tatum...
Job's basically done. That would have been sick if he said
if he said job's basically
done. It's
but what I will say is, and I think he knows, because we've only ever seen 4 teams be down 3-0 and force a Game 7. But one of them, the Celtics are intimately familiar with because it was them 11 and a half months ago against Miami, which should help them recognize guys, and I bet the Celtics feel like that if in that Game 7 Tatum didn't turn his ankle, they would have won. So I think they will be maybe a little more dialed in than most teams up 3-0 because they were on the other side of it and almost came back from it. So, but here's where I think he's right and wrong. I think it is a straw man that people are saying that if the Celtics win the championship, there is some type of asterisk on it. I haven't heard anybody say that. I haven't heard. That's why I said it's straw man. It is absolute fact that folks going into the finals, one of the reasons, if you doubted the Celtics, it was because not only the East, not only their path in the East, but the injury-riddled teams they faced. And that, to me, was not unfair. That was cogent analysis to say, yes, you earned the 1 seed, but you didn't earn the injuries to the other team's best players. You didn't earn that Giannis was going to miss the playoffs, that Jimmy Butler was going to miss the playoffs. And so there was a question there. But I don't think history looks negatively on any champion. The only one that I can think of is because LeBron's involved, people say the bubble. There are still some people, but
we take shots at the Rockets championships, to be fair.
Well, I don't. Here's the thing.
People take shots.
I don't think
we
people take
understand
shots.
that the Bulls would have beat them.
That's
all it
I mean, that's just stop.
They would have.
Okay.
Did we ever see them lose? I'm just saying.
All right, Ken, I really don't want to get in an argument about the '90s Bulls right now. But did we ever see him play a great center in the finals? Did we ever see them?
No, he just beat them on the way to the finals.
A great center. Ewing
wasn't great.
Was Ewing
not great?
Guys, he was very, very good.
He was great.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not trying to argue about the '90s Bulls, guys. I'm not trying to argue about the '90s Bulls.
You just started the
No, because
all we did was mention them. All we did was mention them.
Okay.
And you went off.
No, if I may, I don't think people discount those Rockets. I think what they do is buttress the legend of Jordan. I don't hear anyone being like, how great is Hakeem really? Those 2 championships didn't count.
I agree with that.
I think people just try to pretend Michael would have won 8 because you guys are nuts. But let's stay in the moment. Let's just stay in the moment if we can, rather than argue about the NBA from 30 years ago.
You're bringing it up. You were the one bringing it up.
Yeah, you keep saying I don't want to talk about it, then throwing little shots in there.
Okay.
But
maybe Wilds, I didn't bring it up. You did.
You said we don't. You're talking about the historical context of the champions, and we're bringing up that is incorrect. That people do take shots at the Rockets.
Okay.
If you want me to just sit here quietly and let you do a history lesson that is not necessarily 100% how the whole world views it, I will.
Okay.
Some people do take shots at Durant.
That's what I'm saying.
Not the Warriors,
but not because of the path. It's because of Durant. Correct. The point I was trying to make was I think right now, if you pick right now, does anyone remember what the 04 Pistons road to the title was? No, they remember they beat Shaq and Kobe in the finals. I think if you win the championship, that stuff goes away.
Every championship is valid,
right,
period.
Correct. But to your point, it is also not unfair to the Celtics. It is measuring the Celtics the way we measure all one-off champions if they're a one-off champion. Like, I don't think we look at the Raptors or the Bucks as legendary teams. And it is because of what happened after that.
None of these previous 5 champions.
Correct. The only, to me, like one-off champion that is remembered super fondly is, to a degree, the 2011 Mavs, because they had the opposite path. Because people look at it as some people. Okay, you don't.
I actually think a lot of people take shots at that one. Okay. Like my prevailing thought in that finals is LeBron melted down and gave the title to the Mavericks.
Okay, fair enough. But like the 06 Heat, people don't remember that fondly. That's not unfair. That is the ones that we remember fondly, or where it was building something.
Or if it was a one-off, you had legends.
Yes.
Moses Malone in '83 was a 3-time MVP. Dr. J was an MVP and a living legend at that point. And the same thing with those 72 Celtics. I will say this. The history talk, if they view it correctly, these Celtics, all the talk about can they be an all-time great team? Will they be going forward? You better win more if you want to be considered all-time great. That can help them because that's motivation. Like, I look at it like the Chiefs. Like, I think the Chiefs, all this talk about the 3-peat is good for them because it's like we got something to shoot for rather than resting on our laurels of having won 2 championships in a row. And the Celtics can do the same thing. Complacency can hit any team. The Celtics now, we just ran through the league and they don't consider us great. All right, let's get it next year. I think it'll be good for them.
Okay, so let me just make the counter argument. Suppose just because I don't want to put injuries in the air, suppose someone wins the lottery and decides to move to a vineyard in France, and that Celtics team looks totally different next year. Why does the Celtics team that looks totally different next year affect all the statistics that are historically great this year? Because we're always like, we can't give credit to this year's team because next year's team, if next year's team doesn't exist.